Hello and welcome back. Getting ready for the new season coming up. So started off camp's in a couple of days, so I figured I might as well do my projection of the lines, what I think it's going to be. Kind of like last year before, I will be using my Xbox again for the lines in NHL 18. So just ignore the numbers; they mean nothing, and we'll just jump into it. We're starting with the goalies because it's very easy. It's Bob and Corpy. There is no other combo. It's going to be Bob. It's Corpy's spot to lose unless JF Brule just completely steals the show during camp. It's Corpy's spot as the backup position. I would like us to see give Corpy more games. I think the more games he gets, the better goalie he is. And going into the season with Bob not having a contract, we should give Corpy some more games. Keep showing him like, hey, this will be your route if we don't sign Bob. And speaking of Bob, 4 years max. I know he's the greatest goalie we have ever had, but if you look right here, it clearly says he is 29, and this was at the start of last season. So now going into the season, he'll be 30. Starting his next contract, he'll be 31. If we do a 4-year contract, that puts him at 35. Perfect. I don't want to give him an 8-year contract, kind of like they did in Montreal with Carey Price. They're already regretting that contract. It's way too much for him. He's too old. He's never going to live it out. So if we got to give 4 years for Bob max. Other than that, I say we trade him or something else beyond that. But I'm sure you're going to work it out. It's not what's the point of this video. Now we're going to go on to defense. I know this lineup looks a bit crazy, but hear me out. If Zach is not 100% healthy, Nudie should start with Jones. And we can slowly work Zach into it. He had his shoulder surgery at the end of last season. I don't know how much training he's done this summer, what he's been able to do, how he's going to look into camp. If he's 100% to go, yes, absolutely do him right there. That's perfect. That is clearly the defensive lineup. But I think Nudie showed some stuff when he was at Worlds. He showed he was really well. He keeps taking step every year. He's going to get better. Last season when Zach went down for a little bit, Nudie played with Seth, and Nudie stepped up, kept up with him the entire time, played really well. You can easily throw Murray up there. One of those three go. Zach, Murray, or Nudie. I would like to see Nudie up there, give Zach the slow work in, but if he's 100% ready to go, shoulders perfect, fine, yes, go with this is the correct thing. And I know Harrington's been in the stands a lot lately, but I think in the few outings that Kukan has had, he has looked really well. He's got like a +9 rating, which really doesn't matter, but he's out there. Last season, he was out there, he was facing like Ovechkin. He was standing up, doing his stuff really well. Harrington was doing the same thing. So I think it's going to be a battle between one of those two. And maybe Gabriel Carlson comes into camp, blows everybody away. We don't know yet. But this is a very solid decor. I like it a whole lot. And there's not much to complain. When you have to move Zach down and you put Nudie up there, and that wouldn't be a problem. Murray can play up there, that's not a problem. Savard's now your third pair, and he's a great shutdown guy. So if we roll 3 lines of defense, we should be fine. Now, forwards. Starting off, Panarin, PLD, Cam. So we went to playoffs last year. So we did with a very good lineup. They worked really well together, so hopefully they can continue it on and we do some stuff. Second line. Last year, when we at the trade deadline, we picked up Vanek and we paid him with Winberg and Jenner. They took off, and I think since we lost Vanek, Borsheims can step in that place. If he can take a step this year and become that scoring touch that Vanek was, Jenner clears out in front of the net, Winberg gets Borsheims the puck, Borsheims buries them all day long. Very solid second line. It's not the greatest second line in the world, but, I mean, that's what you want. A guy that can clear the net, a guy that can pass, and a guy that can score. It's what you need. Third line, Foligno, Riley Nash, and Anderson. I mean, when you're putting Anderson on your third line with Foligno, it just shows how deep we are with these wings. And they're all talented. They're not the greatest, but they're not the worst. They're all really great middle of the pack. You can pit Andy at the top line with Panarin and PLD. That's fine. Or you can put him on the third line. That's fine as well. I think he will really thrive with Riley Nash. Last season, when Bergeron would go down, Riley Nash would be the top center playing with Marchand and Pasternak. So he has some skill. He can dish the puck around. We know Foligno could do that. If there's ever a situation where Nash gets kicked from the circle, Foligno can very easily step in. I don't know why I keep seeing people list Foligno as a center. He's not a center. He just happened to play out a lot last year because we had nobody there. All our centers were injured. He had to play center. He is a left winger, and I think pitting him back on the left side with somebody like Riley Nash, who is strong defensively, and Andy, who can just go out, him and Andy can go out there and hit, and they can be smart and just grind out some teams. We gotta roll the 4 lines with this lineup. Our 4th line is Eric Robinson, Sedlak, and Duclair. I have Robinson over Milano because personally I think Torts, for whatever reason, does not like Milano. Milano's a great player. I like the kid. I think he should be in the lineup. But personally, I do not think Torts is going to put him in the lineup, especially on a 4th line role where it's more of a shutdown role. That's why I'm giving the edge to Robinson. He had that 1 game last year. He's looked okay in Traverse City for the first couple of games. He's getting his shots off. He's doing his thing. I think he can have a good shot here at camp. Maybe he pairs up with Sedlak, doing a 4th line like this. We don't know. But he has that. I can see him filling in that spot really well and being the type of player Torch likes a lot. And then I have Sedlak. He's a 4th line center. He's very good at the position. I think he can continue to get better. And if we play 4 lines and play all 4 lines and not go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, like we did a lot last year, and go 1, 2, 3, 4 all game constantly. Maybe you go 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 4. Do that. That's fine. But get the 4th line some time. They need minutes. And if you give them minutes and you pit Milano in Robinson's spots, I think Milano can thrive there, especially with Duclair, who was on a $650,000 Gagne prove-it contract. And the last time we gave one of those out was Gagne. I know that's why it's the Gagne prove-it contract. And he excelled in the 4th line role. And I think if Duclair realizes, like Gagne did, this could be my last shot in the NHL, and takes full advantage of it, and we give him ice time on the 4th line. That's the key part. We have to give our 4th line time. Milano can fit in well. Milano said like Duclair, very good. Robinson said like Duclair, that's fine as well. And there's some key parts out of this. There's no Abramov, who I think has a very good shot at making this team, but I could not find a spot. With the players we have on the roster, I could not find a reasonable spot for Abramov. I think if the worst happens and we trade Panarin out of here, people can move in the lineup, and I could see Abramov stealing a spot that way. If we don't get a roster player, which if we don't get a roster player, I don't mind, give Abramov the shot, depending on where we are in the standings. There's no Dubinsky, which, I mean, Dubinsky's kind of lost his role out there at the end of last season, so whatever. I think Sedlak, if he continues to push himself, he will keep Dubinsky out of the lineup, but Dubinsky will be right there pushing Sedlak. And if Sedlak slips one little bit, Dubinsky takes a spot, and then Sedlak competes, and they're going back and forth for that 4th line center position. That's only good for us. It's the kind of same situation with Robinson and Milano. With those two going back and forth trying to get that 4th line left wing position, you never know. Same thing with Duclair and Abramov going back and forth trying to get that position. Competition on your 4th line is not the end of the world. That does it for this video. I don't know what to say. Tell me what you think about the lineup down below. What is your lineup looking like? And until the season starts, maybe I'll do a preseason video just to get back into this. This took a lot out of me, more than I thought it would. So until next time, click like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Until then, I will see you later.